Welcome to the MS Gym podcast, where we give you the tools to live life by design, not by diagnosis. I'm your host, Brooke Slick, and here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my first episode of the new year. I can't remember a time that I've craved a fresh start more than this year. But despite us having flipped the calendar to January 2021, not a lot has changed, or at least not as much as we thought it was going to be changed by this point. Last April, when the pandemic lockdown phase was only a few weeks old, I did an episode called COVID-19, the Great Equalizer, essentially stating that due to the lockdown, absolutely no one was exempt from living life in the same way that many of us with chronic illness have been living for years, and how the playing field had been leveled in that regard. Gosh, I remember in those early days when we thought, everything was going to be back to normal by September and the kids would be able to go back to school. And by the end of the year, we'd definitely be celebrating Christmas with our families. Not so much. But from being confined in our homes, loss of income, and if you were lucky enough to keep your job, you may have had to accommodate by working from home. If you did lose your job, you might have had to pivot to a completely new career path due to something completely out of your control. In this case, it was COVID, but in our case, it's MS. Just another day in life, We've been tested for sure, all of us, but what have we learned? Equally as important, what have our able-bodied friends and family learned? Well, on January 1st, I made a post on my Instagram, accompanied by a pic of me sticking my tongue out at 2020. And it went a little something like this. Hey, 2020, take that. While the rest of the world was adapting and overcoming their altered state of living, the disabled/chronic illness community, okay, it was me, was kind of savoring watching the able-bodied world get a taste of what it looks and more importantly feels like to have the rug that is the life that you've become accustomed to yanked right out from underneath you by an external source over which you had zero control. Sound familiar, MSers? Even my own husband, who's seen up close how a chronic illness and disability can turn your life's plans into scorched earth, has had a reality check. When he's groaned, I can't even do X, Y, or Z, I would jokingly, say, how's that feel? With a sly grin and a pitying tone. He'd pause, think for a second, then keep it moving. He knew if he was looking for sympathy, he was going to have to look elsewhere, because I wasn't going to be serving it up. But why am I giving 2020 the raspberries? Well, it's not in a you sucked, though it did in many ways, kind of way. It's more like nanner nanner boo boo, kiss my tush kind of way. Why? Because I already had all the mental tools I needed to stay productive, optimistic, calm, and patient. If you live with a chronic illness and or disability, living without those assets in your coping bank account can break you. Basically, my life didn't change much at all. In some ways, it improved. Thank you, grocery pickup and curbside dining. So as we head into 2021, yearning for this shit show of a year to start turning around, and it will, the able-bodied will return to business as usual, as we will. But I'm secretly hoping as they move forward, they'll remember how this all felt and will be able to relate to our community in a different way, with a different eye, one that sees and appreciates the wisdom that comes with our unique life experience. We've got a lot to offer. So yes, here's to a better 2021 for all of us. After last year, it can only go up from here, right? Oh, and if you've never had a chance to listen to that episode that I mentioned from early last April, in it, I made 15 predictions about things that could happen as a result of our collective lockdown. And I think I hit the nail on the head. If you have time, give it a listen. But until the next episode, I hope you're finding joy in whatever form it comes this year. Heaven knows we all deserve it, right? So Happy New Year, my friends. I'll see you on the next episode. For more information on the MS Gym, you can find them at themsgym.com, on Facebook or Instagram. If you'd like to know what I've been up to lately, you can catch me at brookeslick.com or Instagram.